Hey everyone, Ryan Hill, Jack of all trades, master of none. I apologize for the nasally sounding this, coming from a little bit of a cold. Hopefully nothing too bad. Here back again to talk about Star Trek Picard, episodes 9 and 10. I held off on last week's because it was a two-parter, and I figured, what the hell, put it together as one video. It starts out with basically Picard's going over Picard's aeronautics syndrome, and that how he's basically this is going to be his last mission, really close to death. After they crash land on the planet with all the synthetics, Dr. Girardi finds out using an old tricorder that he has the aeronautics syndrome. After that, they go to the Borg cube. They meet back up with Elnor and Seven, and they're basically getting the Borg cube ready. They fire up the sensors, and they find out that the Romulans are on their way, and there's about 230 of them. I found it funny that one of the XBs called Picard Macutus. Basically, Elnor and Seven are taking care of the Borg that are still around after crash landing and what happened in the episode before. The crew actually, after the Borg cube, they go to the synths, or the androids, and we meet Alton Soon, which is Nudie and Soon's son, also played by Brent Spiner, the actor who played Data. We meet Sutra, who is Jan's sister, which is basically another clone of Soji and Daj. She does a mind meld with Dr. Agnes Girardi, and we find out that the admonition from the episode before isn't necessarily a warning, but more of a promise that the higher level synths will come to the rescue of your AI, and it's mostly because of jealousy that organics have always fought against synthetics, because synthetics don't age. That makes a lot of sense if you really think about it, because a lot of people don't want to die. So let's see here. Dr. Soon is also working on conscious transfer, or essence transfer, for the Star Wars crowd, kind of Palpatine-esque, as it were. He's building a golem, and at this point in the episode, it's pretty much for himself, and I'm assuming that he wanted to make himself a synthetic as well. That way, when the advanced AI comes, he will die. Let's see here. This episode moves really fast. Rafi says goodbye to Picard and tells him that she loves him, and he returns the favor. Narek comes back into the fold, and he basically ends up getting captured and then set free after Sutra removes her sister's eye and blames Narek for it. That pretty much wraps up the end of the first episode, episode 10. What a doozy. See here, Narek's sister was still on the cube. I thought she beamed off over to a Romulan ship, but apparently she just beamed to another location on the cube, where she has a confrontation with 7 of 9. He calls her the one-time Borg queen that got assimilated for her 6th birthday, which is a throwback to Voyager when she got assimilated when she was just a kid. They had been basically raised by the Borg. Rios and Rafi are trying to get the La Serena back up into space, and they used the device that the androids gave me, which was like a fix-it-all device that you could use your imagination. Is what it is. It's the future. There's lots of things possible. He teams up with Narek, shows up, and he teams up with the crew of the La Sirena to stop the beacon from being deployed and calling down the advanced AI. They basically sneak Narek back in, saying that they captured him, and Rios snuck explosives in a soccer ball. Dr. Girardi is getting the golem ready for Dr. Soon at the time, and Dr. Soon finds out that it was actually Sutra who removed the eye from her sister and let Narek escape because Sutra wanted to call down advanced AI, which would destroy everything. Narek and Elnor discuss Gamadon, which is the Romulan Ragnarok, or prophesized end time. Back on the La Sirena, Picard and Girardi are attempting to stall the Romulans and try to convince the androids that this isn't the proper course of action. It ends up in they end up doing a super Picard maneuver where they basically project hundreds of the La Sirena, and it works for a little bit. The Romulans cease their attack on everything, and it gives time for Starfleet to show up, commanded by Commander Riker, or Captain Riker. Goosebumps, loved it. Jonathan Frakes is one of my favorite characters, or actors / directors. He directed First Contact. You can't see the poster behind me, but love that movie. He also Commander Riker is my favorite character on the show. Period. He was just really interesting. This is one of the characters that I could connect with the most, I suppose. But seeing him back in the action, and the whole time there's a stare down, and basically Picard does what he intended to do, which is basically sacrifice himself for the androids, to try to convince everyone that the synthetics were okay and there should be a reason. So basically he dies. The fleet stands down, and they cut away, and it goes to a dream sequence type thing. We find out that it's a simulation made from Data's consciousness, and we see Data, and they have a conversation between Picard and Data, touching up on old things, hashing out new, what's going on and how things went down. Basically, it ended with Data saying that he wanted him to end his consciousness, which I could totally see because it actually lived on after Nemesis through B4 and the memory transfer from that. So basically, they put Picard's conscience in the golem, and they give it a limited life, so Picard will actually, live out the rest of his days without having to worry about the Ironic syndrome. So that wraps up season number 1 of Picard, and I have to say I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do next. I've heard a couple things about Guinan coming back. I would like to see maybe a little bit of Deep Space Nine involved. The Cisco story, to me, I think they could stretch that out a little bit. I'd really like to see that. And like I said, I'm a huge Deep Space Nine mark. Pardon the wrestling parlance. But anyways, I want to do a State of Star Trek stream here within the next week or two. once everything settles down. I'm looking forward to what that has to offer, and I think we're pretty much good for this week's or this 2 weeks episodes. I'll probably start doing some reviews on the Clone Wars and a couple other things, because the Clone Wars is just wrapping up, and I really haven't touched much on it because I haven't had a lot of time to watch it. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time, and make sure you guys catch the Ambassador stream tonight. I'm talking about Mel Brooks movies. Should be a hoot. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.